Okay. All right, let's do it. Good afternoon or morning, depending on when you're listening. Welcome to the break room. We're going to talk about something beautiful today, something horrific. Um, I am joined by my homies here. Homie number one, Zach Stevens. Homie
I'm number
number
one.
1B, Corey Haynes. Corey Ulysses uh, Haynes. And the question for today, or not the question, the prompt is this. I want to know your worst travel story. So like, oh, we had this great trip planned and it was just like absolutely terrible, disgusting, awful because of these things that happened, or just like general, like, oh, I was traveling for work and then I got sick and the world ended, that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. Um, so, does anyone have like they're eager to share because it's that bad, or can I pick who starts?
I guess you could
Mm,
pick. Mine's
Yeah,
not terrible.
I feel like Corey travels a lot, so let's go with Corey.
Good choice.
I feel like I actually have one that's worse than either of these. I'll tell two quickly because one is super quick, so I'm not going to go into detail. But I might think of another one as I go. But the first one was once upon a time on a honeymoon when I was coming back from a honeymoon. I was flying back through Dallas, Fort Worth, and our connection flight got canceled, and there was no other flights until like 12 hours later, and this flight was at like 6 p.m. And so there was this huge line, and it was like all these people trying to get rebooked, and they're giving credits, and oh, you can connect over here, they're going to fly over to Colorado and then to San Diego and so on and so forth. And we kind of like were some of the last ones to get in the line. And so by the time they got to us, they were like, "There's no more flights. Like we can rebook you out of another flight here, but it's not going to be until I think it was like 7 a.m. the next morning." And it was like 7 p.m., so it was like a long time. And they were like, we could give you a credit for a stay at a hotel, but the nearest hotel is an hour and a half away, and like it doesn't leave until like 9 p.m. So like you would get there at like 10:30, and then you'd have to like kind of get up at like 4 if you want
4.
to. Yeah, and we were like, okay, well, like, what are you suggesting then? They're like, well, we have some cots. I was
No.
like, huh. I was like, yeah, we have cots and blankets and a little tiny pillow if you want it. So we're like, okay, whatever. Let's just do that. So we went and tried to find a quiet spot in the terminal. Um, and I mean, I'm a larger guy. Like
Big
I,
boy.
tr-
Yeah.
I tried to fit on the cot. I do not fit on a cot at all. Like I can sleep on a twin bed. Kind of that's like the smallest I can go. Otherwise, it just starts to become like a game of, um,
Which
Tetris with my body.
appendage? Yeah, which appendage is gonna fall off?
Yeah, like it was basically like if my head was on the cot, then like the whole bottom half of my leg, like my knee down, was hanging off, and then like vice versa, then my head would be hanging off, and there was no way, and then like both of my shoulders couldn't fit across, so I was trying to go on my side, but then with my knees hanging off, it was just like my feet were dragging me down. So, anyways, and then like I think we finally fell asleep at like 1 in the morning, and then like 2 in the morning, the cleaning crew came in, and they didn't care at all, dude. They didn't give an F. This guy came in with this like noisy '90s vacuum, like right by my head for literally like half an hour, and so then I just woke up and we went and got like breakfast and then got on our way. That was a long time ago though, and it really wasn't that bad. I'll tell you one more story really quickly, and that is that just recently in October, I was coming from Microconf Europe in Croatia, in Dubrovnik, and then I had a couple days in between that one and SaaS Europe, I think, in London, I want to say. One of those. It was in between two conferences. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to my dream destination, and I'm going to go to Switzerland in between just for a couple of days. It's like not that far from Croatia to Switzerland. So I had a direct flight from Dubrovnik to Zurich, and I was going to be there in like an hour and a half. Well, okay, you show up to the airport in Dubrovnik. Oh, it's 20 minutes delayed. Oh, it's 20 more minutes delayed. Oh, it's 20 more minutes delayed. And then we get the notification over the PA that the flight's been canceled and to come to the front desk to get rebooked. So they come to the front desk, and Dubrovnik is a tiny, tiny little airport. And so they're like, "Yeah, we have no more flights to Switzerland like this week." They're like, "We can rebook you to Paris and then connect from Paris to Switzerland." But like it doesn't leave for a couple more hours, and you'd connect, and it's kind of a tight connection, but you'd get into Switzerland at like 11 p.m. I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever, we'll just make it work. So I wait around the airport for another like 3 hours doing absolutely nothing. Get on the flight to Paris, wasn't that bad. Get to Paris and I get off, and I think I get out at like gate 56, I want to say, in the terminal. And I look at my next ticket to get to Zurich, and it says gate 57, and it's like an hour later. So I was like, oh, sweet. It's like right next door. So I look over, and it's the same airline. So I'm like, this makes sense. I'll just wait here until I see the little screen change to like verify that this is actually my flight. And then, I'll just watch for that, and then I can chill out and wait for the boarding, whatever. So I go get some food. I go back. I'm waiting around and looking at the screen, and then I see the screen change, and it's not my flight. And so I walk up to the little guest or to the flight attendant, and I'm like, "Hey, here's my ticket. I thought that it says gate 57." And she says, "Oh, no, sir. This is gate 57, terminal 6. You need to be at terminal 1." And I'm like, "Oh, okay.
What?
Like, where's terminal 1?" And she's like, "Oh, sir, you have to get on a bus and you go around the whatever."
Bus?
Yeah. So I was like, well, my flight leaves in 20 minutes. And she was like, "Oh, sir." Like,
Stop calling me sir.
yeah. She's like, "You better go." She's like, you have to run." And so I started running. And then I go to where the little bus stop is. And then I wait for like 10 minutes. A bus comes, and there's like 5 or 6 terminals in Paris. And there's only one, like they go clockwise around. And I'm like in my terminal I need to get to is on the opposite end of the route. And so it's like a 25-minute bus ride. And then I get to that terminal, and dude, it's a maze. Like anyone who's listening who's been through Paris knows this, but it's like, it's very old, and it literally looks like a giant stadium. And it's crazy because it'll be like 3 floors, and the entrance to each one of the different gates will be up this like long escalator on a random area. There's no like signs that say like, this is exactly where you get here. It's just sort of like oh my gosh, it's so hard to explain, but it's like a big bowl, and you're always going across the bowl to different levels to get to different gates. So anyways, I run the entire time. I have to go through like 3 different escalators. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I have to go through security again for that terminal. I'm telling them like, dude, my flight is leaving right now. Like, please let me through. They let me through. I have water in my water bottle because I refilled it. I have to go back and empty it, go through the security again. I finally get to the gate, and they're like, "Oh, it closed 2 minutes ago. Like, you just missed it."
Dude.
And so, okay, I'm going to try to wrap this up because this is getting way too long. But so then I'm like, "So what do I do?" And they're like, "You have to go downstairs and like get it rebooked somewhere." I'm like, "Where do I go?" She's like, "Oh, back to," or she's like, "You go to terminal 6, the one that I was just at." So I go back there. I get to the other, I go like up a floor where all the stations are for all the airlines. I look at my watch, and it's like 8:05, I want to say, something like that. And there's no one working at the airline stations at all. And so I asked, there's like one person at like the little info desk, and I'm like, "Hey, I need to get rebooked on Croatia Airlines. I got rebooked a couple times and yada, yada, yada. Where is that?" And he's like, "Oh, we don't have a Croatia Airlines." I was like, "Okay, well, what about the flight that I got rebooked through?" I forget what it was. It might have been like British Airways or something. And he was like, "Oh, they're down there, but they just closed. They close at 8 p.m. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, what do I do? Because I need to get rebooked to make this, I have an Airbnb for tonight and this whole schedule. He's like, oh, you should call them. So I call them. Guess what time they stop taking calls? 8 p.m.
Eight. What's the point? Why?
So I look around and I go to another terminal to try to find another place where I can book a ticket. There's literally not a single soul who can sell me a ticket on any airplane anywhere. And it's like 8:15 p.m. on like a Saturday night. You know what I mean? And so I just bought a new ticket on my phone for like 6 a.m. the next morning. I took an Uber to a hotel. I slept there for like 4 hours and then I booked my butt back to the airport. And then I realized that I didn't have my checked bag. The whole time my checked bag, went through Dubrovnik and went through Croatia Airlines. And then I went to Paris and I missed my flight. And I kind of just forgot about it because of all the chaos of trying to figure out where I was going to go. And so I look, because I put air tags in all my suitcases because of all these nightmares before.
It's back
And
in Croatia. Yeah. You're like,
I'm
what?
no, I'm expecting it to be in Croatia or in Switzerland, but it's actually in the Paris airport. So I get to the airport and I'm
Gotta
like
find
a
my
little
bag.
bit early, but not super early. And it's a madhouse. Like there's literally a million people there. And there's like huge lines in every single terminal, every security line. But I see my AirTag that it's at a specific terminal. And so I go in there. I have to wait like an hour to get someone to help me get my bag. I get my bag and then I do the same thing. I have to run to make my flight and then do the whole thing. I'm getting on the bus, go to the other terminal, I made it, but it was a hell of a journey.
I don't even want to tell mine.
I feel like that's not even that bad. I've heard people with way worse stories.
I'll just tell mine. It's going to be 30 seconds. What happened was I going to the DC trip when I was 14 years old. We were stuck hovering around the airport, landing in Virginia for like an hour and a half. And I didn't know this because this was my first time being on a plane as not a young child. But I get really bad motion sickness on ascension and descension.
Ooh.
So I was so sick, like, because they're just turning and turning and turning all over the airport, like up above the airport. So that's it. I found out to get motion sickness and was in motion sickness hell for an hour.
Okay, that actually isn't that bad.
No.
Corey's is worse, I think.
Corey's is 100% worse.
And
Do you have
much
something that tops it,
longer.
Nick?
Yeah. No, definitely not. Just it's a story of my foolishness, I suppose. I was invited to a bachelor party in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a 5-hour drive, 5.5 hours from San Diego. So I go, everything's great, great time. Coming back, I drove, by the way. And so on the way back, I'm driving and I'm like, if you don't know this drive, like there's basically like there's a couple checkpoints. So like you just stop at these like 2-3 places and fill up and get gas and you'll make it home. And there was one where it was like I could have stopped, but I didn't because I was like pretty close to the next spot and the next spot had like more gas stations and cheaper gas and I am cheap. So I was like, I'll just see what happens. And the next section right before the town, before Yuma, is like this big mountain pass section. So it's all these like hills and stuff. And it's like just coming into the summer. It's like May maybe. So it's really hot where we are. It's like 100 degrees, 105 degrees. And we're driving through, or I'm driving through alone, car full of random stuff that I took to the bachelor party. And I'm going up this hill. I have like, my thing tells me I have like 18 miles left. I'm like, I'm going to make it, no problem. It's like 5 miles. It's great. I start going up this hill and my car just like the incline must have made it like the gas tank must need like a certain like gravitational, level to like pull the gas into the fuel line, something, flux capacitor. So I'm going up and it's sputtering out and I'm like, oh, shoot. So I pull over, and it's like, the freeways out here are like they're 80 miles per hour. You can drive as fast as you want, kind of thing. So I'm on the side of the road. I have no gas. I have very little service. So I've got my car. I climb up this hill, which is like, I'm in this desert mountain pass. It's like this valley. So I like climbed up this hill that had like a little plateau on it, and like walked maybe like 200 feet and had a better signal. Called AAA. AAA is coming. Okay, sounds great. The guy gets here with his, truck and his gas can and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm just out of gas. Like, this is what it is. But I drive a Ford Focus. And if you don't know, the newer Ford Focuses have a self-closing gas cap, which basically means like, it's not like you twist it and open it and then you put the gas thing in. It's like, it closes and you just push the thing in. You push the pump in, and it like opens it based on how it's all built. You can't just stick a regular gas can into it. It like won't open. Yeah. You only pumps, and then the funnel that comes with your car. I bought my car used. I didn't have the funnel. So there's no funnel. The gas can is like, won't go in. I'm like, I have gas. I have a car that's out of gas, and I can't get it in. So basically I convinced the guy to let me use some screwdrivers he had to like pry it open. He was like, I won't do this to your car. I can't. You can do it. Here's the screwdriver. And I was like, great. So I had to like stick these screwdrivers in and like pull it open, and then tell him to put the gas in. And he put it in and gave me, like a couple gallons, and okay, I turned my car on and it works. And then from that point on, every time I filled up my tank, it would like sputter, because I had like messed up the lip, like the sealant part with the thing. So I basically like ruined my whole fuel intake section for like a year. It took so long for people to figure out how to fix it. And I always would tell them, it's because I shoved a thing in my gas like intake, and you just need to fix this one piece. And they were like, no, it's the fuel line. It's just so annoying. And it ruined me driving my car for over a year. And it's also just because I'm dumb and ran out of gas, and I didn't have to.
I love a ran out of gas story, because it really is so embarrassing. It still never happened to me, thank God. I would be petrified if it did, because it's like so avoidable. Mm-hmm. And then that's really funny. It's just like
never bodes well.
I was on my way home to like a family birthday gathering. So I was like, I had like a button up shirt and like jeans on, and I'm just sweating balls outside. It's so hot, and I'm wearing a button up and jeans, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Why am I out here? Like, why did I do this? But I think it's safe to say that Corey's is the most, both of Corey's stories are probably worse than both of ours.
Agreed. But did you throw up?
I didn't throw up. Yeah.
Did you throw up, Corey?
Zach. Yeah.
No. You never said that you throw up, because that makes it pretty bad in an airplane. That's traumatic.
It sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Don't. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. 0 stars on Yelp. Like, please, no throwing up on airplanes.
Yeah, it's bad for everyone else too.
Especially after like a can of Coke and some airline peanuts.
Yum. Yeah, great combo.
Delicious.
Okay. Great job, gentlemen. Love the stories. And we'll see you on the next episode. Okay. You could cut that out if you want.
Or don't.
Keep me doing this.
That's our outro now. Yeah.
Yeah, all of us.
Doing obscene things with our hands.
No, all of us just do this right here. Yeah. Or we all go.